After months of eerie quiet, Nintendo finally showed off Luigi's Mansion 3 at E3 2019 across playable demos and developer presentations. Once again developed by Next Level Games, the third entry in the Mario spin-off seems to be a desirable follow-up to a pair of really awesome but definitely a tiny bit divisive Luigi's Mansion games. We have our own hands-on preview and footage that you can go check out right now here at NintendoReport.com, Nintendo Report TV, plug. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to rattle off 5 things that deserve a closer look from Nintendo's Luigi Mansion 3 E3 2019 content. Luigi's new vacuum, the Poltergust Goo, or G00, I'd rather call it the Goo personally, but it's got a few new tricks. Your regular old sucking and blowing is of course there. The Strobulb from Luigi's Mansion 2 is back as well. Nintendo highlighted 3 new moves. There's the Burst, which clears space by shooting air below Luigi, repelling enemies. It kinda looks like Luigi farts, it's funny. The Slam can be executed while sucking in ghosts. You build up a meter and then slam them on the ground or into other ghosts. Lastly, there is the Suction Shot, which you can shoot out a plunger that sticks to enemies and doors. It's a way to disarm foes or maybe find secrets. In addition to those moves, the new menu system was also shown off. Following the Game Boy and DS references of games past, Luigi interfaces with the Virtual Boo, a Virtual Boy-inspired device that can be used to view the map, return to EGAD's lab, or toggle co-op on and off. You can also call up the EGAD hotline, a built-in hint system. I love it when the Super Guide shows up in Nintendo games in clever ways, and definitely the Virtual Boo is a pretty good gag. I definitely chuckled. It's got a red tint and everything, it's great. The new moves seem to deepen Luigi's functionality here, but the most interesting nugget nestled in the Nintendo Treehouse Live segment that focused on these new moves mentioned that the Slam and Burst moves were part of a Wii U prototype. With Next Level Games involved, I have a hard time believing that the full development of Luigi's Mansion 3 was slated for Wii U near the end of the Vancouver devs' past game, Metroid Prime Federation Force, which came out in the summer of 2016. More likely is that following the release of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon in early 2013, Next Level Games spent some time prototyping a Luigi's Mansion game for Wii U or something of that sort. At that point, the Wii U wasn't a lost cause yet, and hey, Luigi's Mansion was top of mind with a 3DS sequel and a fun Nintendo Land minigame. According to comments from producer Kensuke Tanabe at Nintendo, regarding Federation Force's production, that game was on 3DS primarily because of Next Level Games' experience with 3DS development. That could be a reason for why Luigi's Mansion Wii U never happened as well. Most of this is conjecture based on what might just be an offhand remark during Treehouse Live. Potentially, we'll learn more of Luigi Mansion 3's early concepts as release gets nearer, maybe even after the game comes out later this year. Gooigi is your probable Hellspawn co-op partner for Luigi's Mansion 3. It's pretty cool because the whole game can be playable in co-op. While this bizarre, ethereal being first appeared in the 2018 port of the first Luigi's Mansion on 3DS, Gooigi was brought to life during the development of this third entry initially. Nintendo's Kensuke Tanabe desired a co-op experience when Luigi's Mansion 3 started Switch development, so he took that idea to Next Level Games, who apparently already just had the name and concept for Gooigi ready to go. I kind of wonder what's happening in Vancouver if they're just like, we have an idea, it's Green Goo Luigi. The entirety of Luigi's Mansion 3 can be played cooperatively with one player as Luigi and the other as Gooigi. In single player, Gooigi can be summoned at the press of a button, which will be necessary for some puzzles as Gooigi can slip through fences and walk through spikes to access other areas that regular old Luigi can't. Gooigi even factors into the ScareScraper multiplayer mode. If you play with 8 players, 4 of them will control Gooigis. If you have 4 or less, each player can summon their own Gooigi, so that way you can kind of always have up to 8 Luigi-like things at once. With Gooigi joining Peachette in the ether, what's next for disturbing twists to Mario characters? Will we see Washi, the Wario-esque Yoshi? Maybe the follow-up to Super Mario Odyssey will have Daisy in it, but her name will be Maisie and she's an assassin. Or perhaps Bowser has a Marshmallow clone. The possibilities are endless and terrifying. But before we get too far off the deep end, let's dial back and go over the multiplayer mode, ScareScraper. Playable with anywhere from 1 to 8 players, ScareScraper tasks players with clearing 5, 10, or a random amount of procedurally generated floors. The procedural generation aspect is different from Dark Moon's similar multiplayer, which just toyed with existing maps and rooms. The procedural generation also has added room types like balconies and closets. Overall, ScareScraper is tougher than the main game, and if you can make it to the top, there is someone special waiting, according to Next Level Games game director Bryce Holiday. Each floor has a different objective, with 8 or 9 different options in total. The 3 shown off are capture the ghosts, find the toads, and get the money. They're all timed, so you have to race through to get all the ghosts, find toads, and deliver them to a portal, and collect a certain threshold of moolah. The multiplayer can be played both locally and online. Online can be played with up to 8 players, though whether or not those can be from your friend list or randoms was not clarified. You'd hope that would be assumed, but this is the same year that Super Mario Maker 2 is getting a post-launch update to add in online friend play. However, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon had online friend play, so it seems very likely that this won't be a problem, I hope. Adding more fuel to that fire, the Nintendo Switch Online app will be used for voice chat. Locally, you can play by yourself or with one other player on the same system. 8 players can join together via local wireless, which could add some fun chaos to the next large Nintendo World Report gathering. If anyone's going to PAX South or PAX East, let's play some Luigi's Mansion 3 multiplayer. The multiplayer, it honestly seems really fun. Aside from some bugs, the mode on 3DS was great, and this just seems to build off of that strong foundation. It will even make use of the new moves in interesting ways, as 2 players can work together to do double slams. Special upgrades even beef up your Luigi or Gooigi in this mode. Holiday described 3, Super Suction, which deals more damage to ghosts, Super Strobe, which fires off a powerful strobe bulb, and Trap Detector Helmet, which adds a siren to your head to warn of traps. And last but not least, let's cover the setting of the game. Unlike the past 2 Luigi's Mansions, this setting is kinda different. It's still spooky, you still have ghosts, but now Luigi and the gang get invited to a hotel. But after one sleep, Luigi and Polterpup wake up to find Mario, Peach, and everyone else trapped in portraits. Wonder what King Boo is probably back. Just saying. Luigi touches base with Egad, gets the Poltergust goo, and tries to find his friends. The structure looks to have more in common with the first Luigi's Mansion, eschewing the bite-sized missions and lack of portrait ghosts from the sequel. Each floor of the hotel is a different theme, as Luigi is tasked with finding the elevator button that is generally held by the floor's boss. The 2 floors we saw throughout E3 were medieval themed and movie set themed. Secrets seem to be nestled throughout each floor, rewarding players with money, including the return of diamonds, as well as level-specific items such as hidden swords in the medieval area. The medieval area seems to be more tutorial-like, or at least it's that way for the E3 demo. Luigi sidles through a castle while contending with ghosts wielding shields that must be removed using the new suction shot. The level ends with a fight against a jousting ghost. The movie set, which was only on Treehouse Live, has some novel twists to it. The so-called boss of the floor, a ghostly film director named Morty, isn't really that much of a villain. Dude just wants to make his movie. Luigi is tasked with finding his megaphone, which leads him on a quest that takes him to different sets, where Luigi has to get behind the camera and film Gooigi doing death-defying stunts. The floor builds to Luigi returning with the megaphone, ending with Morty shoving Luigi onto the set of his latest movie, a Godzilla-inspired monster fight. The boss of the area is a ghost in a Godzilla-esque suit on a miniature city set. Luigi has to smash buildings and the boss to win. Finally, Morty relents and gives the elevator button back. Nintendo teased that you will be able to watch the movie you made with Morty later in the game, which is a super cute touch. The movie set also has some really fun Easter eggs referencing Next Level Games' past work. Check out our other video diving into those for more details. A cute conceit is how Luigi zooms around the sets by warping through TV screens as well. We really only got deep details on 2 floors, but if the other floors have as much variety in character as those, I can't wait to see what they will hold. You can see our own Xander Morningstar going into more detail on the portrait ghosts and the potential for what other floors would be in another video that you can look for a link in the description or some such. And of course, it wouldn't be a Luigi's Mansion adventure if King Boo didn't show up, but outside of a brief tease in the trailer, we didn't see any more of his royal ghostly shenanigans. And that is more or less what we know about Luigi's Mansion 3 after E3 2019. The game is currently slated to come out later in 2019, probably October at the earliest. It'd be a real good Halloween game. Nintendo did not give a specific release date during E3, but there was some chatter around the convention that a release date should be coming soon. If you want to know what to look out for, there's probably going to be a Nintendo Direct in maybe August or September, as they've done the past few years, and we'll probably get more details about Luigi's Mansion 3, including a release date, by that time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this trip down what Luigi's Mansion 3 is and could be. If you want to see more content from E3 2019, stick to this channel. We've got a lot of discussion about Luigi's Mansion 3, The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, all sorts of Nintendo stuff. So stay here, and we'll take you all the way up to the launch of Luigi's Mansion 3 and beyond. And if you want to help support us, stay tuned and watch this little bumper thing about our Patreon. It'd be very helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye.
This video is made possible by our generous supporters on Patreon. Did you know that Nintendo World Report is funded directly by fans like you? When you support Nintendo World Report on Patreon, you get immediate access to multiple exclusive podcasts every month, exclusive Discord channels, an early look at select content, and more, all for as little as $1 a month. Check out patreon.com/NWR for all the details.